Welcome to Other Realm Studio. I'm Paula. I am a little bit late from when I've been trying to get started at 8:45, but I'm a little bit early for my old time of 9 o'clock. So there is that. Today I was working on an animation um, file, and I'm actually kind of happy with how this turned out. Now, so far, I mean, it gets much worse and much sketchier as we go on, but this one I did a little bit of cleanup on today, and I like it. We are getting there, and probably somebody who actually has been to school for animation, or possibly a teacher, or anybody who might actually know what they're doing when it comes to animating. If any of those sorts of people ever come across this video, they're going to say, oh, girl, if you're making things just needlessly difficult for yourself and this is going to go horribly wrong. And you don't even know. Okay, other than that, other than that, I am very pleased with this because I don't know what I don't know, and ignorance is bliss. And I can even play it and it moves. So you can see I'm going to have like the whole thing turn around. Now, here, this is still on a separate file, and I've done cleanup on this one, and I was pretty happy with it. And I could not figure out how to get the 3D modeling to work on the animation frames. On the one that I started out as an animation. So, yeah, these guys. So this would have been very it would have made life so much simpler for me if I had been able to put these guys um, on a reference layer behind my animation cells, and I don't know how to do it. I poked all through all this stuff and I almost did it, and I'm missing something crucial. So yeah, I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do. So so these will be keyframes, and then I'm gonna do the in-betweens later. I'm gonna have her very subtly turning her head. And I hope I can see how to do this. Um, see, so her head's going to be at a slightly different angle, and actually her whole body's going to turn to a slightly different angle. And we're gonna like change the expression and everything. And let's see, how'd this go? So I'm not really sure how long I'm going to actually work on this piece right now, because I do have a few commissions left to finish up. I'm coming really close to being done with them. Um, and it's things that I actually know how to do, unlike animation. So yeah, I really hope that nobody's going to watch this and go, oh, this is by somebody who actually knows what they're doing. No, 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 it is not. Um, this is this is my attempt at teaching myself how to animate, and I mean, so far it's not going horrifically wrong, but there's a bunch of things that I don't know what I don't know. And I guess, there's only one way to find out. There's, I mean, some things you just gotta jump in and try to do them. I mean, especially when you're kind of in the position um, where you don't really have other options for learning how to do it. Like, it would be really nice if I had uh, a teacher or a coach or somebody, telling me or catching my mistakes before they get, really complex and difficult to come back from, and telling me what to work on next and what order to do things in. That would just be enormously helpful. Um, I really liked college. You know, I do feel that college was too expensive and that I probably went for the wrong thing. Still graduated with honors. And, you can't say that I didn't give it an honest shot. But, yeah, I liked it. College was good. I didn't understand the other students. It was kind of bizarre how, I would know how expensive it was to go to college. I would be very conscious of spending this insane amount of money to learn things. And so I wanted to go and just really knock it out of the park and do my absolute best and show up to all my classes, and even if I was sick and miserable, just try not to be sick. And even if it wasn't a class that I liked, I still tried to do my best and to ace it. And well, that didn't exactly work in sociology. I I was so done with that teacher though. I really think that I could have done well at sociology with just a slightly different approach. Anyway, that's not here or there. But yeah, I liked learning. I liked being in an environment where at least the teachers get it. The other students did not. The other students are a bunch of babies. Um, They just are. I'm just really sorry. But they're still, wandering around. They don't know up from down. They don't know to participate in class, even though the teacher begs them at the beginning of class, every class. And they think it's weird. To do things like speak up or try, or to add to the assignment, or to do things with excellence. I mean, this is what you get in public school. I don't know. Maybe it's a regional thing. Maybe it's just public schools around here are not that good. But me, coming from a homeschooled background, um, it was just so nice to not be teaching myself, because um, it was a while ago, and there was a point where I had surpassed uh, available teachers, and like nowadays, yeah, there's a lot more resources, and you don't have to be at the end of homeschool, or like you don't have to be self-taught in your last couple of grades because um, your parents didn't actually use and practice in some of the higher grade level stuff. Now you can find tutors for anything and work out something. But yeah, so I got into college, and I was thinking, why is everybody being such a baby? Aren't they grateful to have people who know what they're talking about, who like know it by heart? They're not having to like look up what the textbook says or the teacher's edition. But yeah, for some reason, there's just so many lazy bums in college. That they don't know enough to be grateful that there's somebody there who knows what they want to learn, and to actually learn it from them. And then you get students who are stupid enough to go for these majors that do not help them in their lives. Why did they even do this? I mean, well, I did end up with an English degree, so I don't have a lot of room to talk. Well, an English degree with no intention of teaching English. I mean, I did get a lot of exposure to literature and um, some different viewpoints and stuff. It was interesting. But, it's never really led to a career in anything whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix a lot of this. Yeah, she's gone like way off model. Okay, well, I'm not worrying about it right now. I kind of expect to redraw this about 5 or 6 times. I mean, judging from the way it's going so far. Let's see, I don't think I like the placement of this thumb. And I'll just neaten that up. So, I do believe that everything happens for a reason, and sometimes those reasons are just kind of eclectic and weird. And I do believe that um, being homeschooled and also having my college experience prepared me for this day, this very day, when I need to teach myself all the things that I want to know, and also to prepare me for being intensely grateful for when I don't have to teach myself. So, one of the things that I want to learn to do, obviously, is animation. And, not because I expect that I'll be good at it or that I'll be able to, do all my own animating that I would like to have done. But this will make me a better client for when I can hire it. I'll know more, a little bit more about what I'm talking about. I'll know more about what's possible, um, about what's difficult. About what takes the longest time, and also what's going to help. I should be able to pitch in and do, little fill in work. Maybe I can do my own backgrounds and concept art and in betweens, maybe. There's this is the really tough bit, but it's also really fascinating. Um, okay, let me back out of that. So here I think she looks like she does in the comic. She looks like the right person. Here, much less so. I've got the angle of the nose wrong, and the shape of the jaw is wrong, and just a lot of wrongness. So I do need to fix it, and this is the wrong size. So yeah, there's a lot that needs fixing here. Ah, and this angle is wonky. How can I fix this? What did I do? What have I done? What is going on here? Okay, that improved it a little. Still, I have this nose wrong, and I don't know how or what exactly is going on with it. But I don't know, I'll have to come back to it. And then, of course, I've got the other about 5 more frames to sketch in. And I'm just looking at these for reference and then just drawing them over again here. And possibly I can work out the camera angles and stuff and do a better resolution, because these I had it to where it was meant to be zoomed in on, and the line art gets kind of pixelated zoomed in as far as I wanted it to be. Okay, let's not lose anything I've done here. Always be just a little bit paranoid about your saves. And let's see, what else do we have? Nearly done with this one. I still need a reference to continue with this one. This one, okay, I do still need a reference for this one. And it was the other, there we are. There we are. Lots of little fine detailed ink work to do on this one. So let me pick a spot. What size was that I working in? 15 work? Okay, so I'm not really doing a real leaf for this. Let's see. I can afford to make those a little more abstract. So mostly I just want some texture going up this tree. And if things look a little bit indistinct and a little less than consistent and realistic for this particular piece, I think that's all for the best. So yeah, all I need to do with this one is finishing up the texture work. All these trees. I mean, on one hand, what am I doing to myself? Volunteering to draw all these trees and all this texture on each of the trees. Um, and on the other hand, I could use the practice. You know, sometimes you have to lean into the part that you don't really want to do so much. And one of the things that I want to learn next for the big project is backgrounds. So, oh goodness, that's going to be a terrifying announcement when when I settle down on exactly what it is and how on earth I'm going to pull this off. Oh, okay, close that, close that. I do not need. Okay. Oh, and thank you to Randy Moss for subscribing to my channel, like just now. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I still need to fine tune my setup to where I don't have my notifications popping up in the bottom of the screen. Like, you don't need to know what kind of bizarro spam I get. And I can't turn off the notifications. Because, you know, Microsoft, Windows, they're a bunch of weirdos. Every time I think I have something turned off, it's not really. Not exactly. Um, so yeah, backgrounds. I need to learn to do backgrounds. So I need to dust off my old knowledge of perspective. Uh, this one, what did I use? Single point? That's not hard. But then, you know, you get into the really dramatic stuff, the 3 point and stuff. Oh, and I saw this awesome fisheye lens effect. That was incredible. And yeah, the artist mentioned how he did it. He showed how he had it gridded out. Yeah, I guess a grid's one way to do it. But how do you keep track of what you intend to do the whole time you're doing such a weird effect? That was perfect for the project he was doing. It was a horror comic, and it just made everything look so weird. In that one panel, that was incredible work. I really enjoyed that. I mean, I didn't buy the horror comic because horror is not my thing. I need my sleep. But I did very much like looking at the designs and some of the work that he put into it. That was awesome. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? So, when drawing leaves, it is kind of important to remember to fold some of them, like this one here, to space them about regularly. And to decide whether the stems are gonna alternate which side or not. Okay, let me back up. All right, so far so good. Yeah, there's my single point perspective, remembering if all these trees are going to be about the same height, they need to start shrinking. Or it's not really so much that the trees are the same height, but that these branches that make the path, this tunnel that she's in, are all the same height. So I will need to move to a slightly smaller pen the further back I go. I want to decide on a pattern for the bark on this one. Maybe make this one really mossy. Just let me wring out my wrist, back up, get some fresh perspective on it. I kind of feel like this branch right here is a little too on the nose. For the whole hand effect. And let me see. Oh yeah, this one was going to be a a darker tree with whichever tree that is with the streakier looking bark. I mean, I've kind of studied a lot of them, but it's been a while, and I'm gonna have to actually look up what they're all called. But yeah, I wanted to make all the pieces for this collection uh, very textural, very interesting. Yeah, really, also really kind of show off a bit about how many different textures you can create with just like black and white line art. One of the most interesting aspects of working in a limited palette or any limited art form is how it challenges you to make the most of what you have. And to use whatever is available to you in as many inventive ways as possible. One of the things that's great about making comics is that it's not making animation and it's not making movies. And if you want that sense of drama and motion, the stuff that you could ordinarily get by or get across through using a soundtrack um, or motion, the sense of action. You have to get that across in still images with no sound. And it's really amazing how much comics as an art form have evolved and really grown to make the comics form, so unique and so special that now like major studios are turning to comics to find their new stories. And it's really kind of funny because it's really easy to do a comic book movie badly. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to translate some of the conventions of the genre to the screen. Those conventions are there for a reason. It's not there to make, one group of people look stupid, or because nobody in comics has ever thought about doing things in a different way. No, it's a wildly original media, and so are the creators. They're innovators and professionals, mostly. See, I think I have this staggered a little too evenly. I'm gonna bring that back up here. Yes, thank you, autosave. Okay. But yeah, the conventions of the genre, they are there for a reason. And you need to learn from the people who've come before you in whatever art form that you're looking to master. Because there's a reason that they did things the way that they did. And if you understand the rules that they had to abide by in order to create, like dealing with old-fashioned printing methods, for example. That led to a lot of the stylistic choices in comics, that several of which are still around today. You know, the reason that the Incredible Hulk is green is because they originally were trying to make him gray, and it just didn't work well with the paper and the ink that they had. They could not get it to turn out the same shade of gray twice. And so if you know why things are the way that they are, then when other innovations are made, such as uh, their newsprint becomes a well, it becomes just as cheap to print on premium paper, then, well, you can offer your comics at premium paper. And then now you can go back, the way places like Alterna Comics are going, and returning to the newsprint, because now printing methods and colors and so forth have improved so much that you can still get high quality color and pretty good effects with newsprint. You can still have comics that look better and are more detailed than the old dot matrixy looking ones, or even some of the comics in the 90s. So that's where my task is right now. This is what I've set ahead for myself. I need to understand why. Uh, what are the conventions of the media that I'm working in, and why are they like that? It's starting to get late and I really should quit, but I've got a good rhythm going on with this bark pattern. I'm not going to be able to do this again. Certainly not at this speed. Yeah, I warmed up earlier today. I can tell too. Okay. Um, so yeah, what are the conventions of the media that I'm working in? Uh, what are the conventions in animation? Why did they do the things the way that they did them? Why were comics made in the way that they're made? And what's different now? What's different? What can be exploited? What can be improved upon? What would what would the old timers have loved to see that's developed now, that's created this new and innovative that's maybe even being overlooked, and nobody's really even thought about applying it to the media that they were working in. Like, I imagine Walt Disney would have loved this art program. He'd have been like, this is the greatest thing. I mean, look at it. I mean, not only can you draw directly on the screen, you can draw in layers, you can draw in traditional 2D animation, and you don't ever have to touch a piece of paper to do it. I mean, paper is nice. I do like paper. But also paper is difficult to scan sometimes, and it's expensive to keep buying more paper. And sometimes if your workspace is not terribly secure, or if you're a little cluttery, yeah, I meant to do something about that earlier today. I did not get around to it. Yeah, sometimes it's easy to lose all your hard work or get it messed up. Sometimes these things happen. This, as long as you save enough. You should be alright. I kind of hate to jinx it now. Yeah, Walt Disney, he would have loved Clip Studio Paint. Because he would have seen, the innovation of it. And now you can even do, where am I? Oh yeah, there it is. Audio. You can even do audio. I don't know how yet, but, it's there. It's there for when I figure that out. And what, what can I do? What can I do with this? I mean, a lot of the times, the answer for, what can I do? What can I create? The answer is not a whole lot. You need somebody better than you. But at least now that I've been working on this program and, exploring all the possibilities and getting to try out some of the stuff that I previously wouldn't have been able to try. Thread out just a few more branches, and then I gotta go. And yeah, let me come in and put more shadow on the underside of this. Yeah, so with this program, this means that I can try out stuff like animation and creating comics and figure out what I'm able to do and what I'm really better off hiring, and that's going to make me a better client. you know, when I can afford to hire somebody, several somebodies probably, to, help me get all my projects off the ground. And, worst case scenario, if I never can afford to hire anyone to help me, eventually I gotta get good. All right, that's gotta be it for tonight. I got I gotta get some sleep. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And, oh, goodness, what was that? A little too pointy there. Back out of that a little. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, uh, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the other realm. Good night.